If you've recently had top surgery and you are wondering what type of movement you can do safely during this time, then this video is for you. Today we're going to go over some movements that you can do safely during the initial phase of healing. Now, I would not start these movements until you are at least 2 weeks post top surgery, and then you can continue these on for the next 6 weeks or so, and they should help reduce some stiffness and tightness that you may be experiencing, and it will also help you get your range of motion back. My name is Mal, my pronouns are they, them, and I'm the founder of Proud Movement. I'm also a certified personal trainer and hold a Bachelor of Science in Kinesiology, so I'm a big movement nerd. One of the most confusing times that I experienced on my top surgery journey back in 2022 was when my surgeon was like, okay, don't lift your arms above your head for 6 weeks and you'll be fine. And that was just really broad advice, and it was so confusing. I was like, okay, well, what can I do during these first 6 weeks? And there's just so many questions. And I think a lot of people feel this way because there's not a lot of information out there about what you can do safely during this time. So that's why I have created this video today. Now, in terms of frequency, like how often should you be performing these exercises that I'm about to show you? Let's say that if you start at week 2, I want you to start with every other day, but monitor your symptoms, see how you're feeling. If you feel pretty good doing every other day, after week 2, maybe at week 3, you could start doing these every day, but keep monitoring your symptoms. If you start feeling worse one day, then you're probably overdoing it. The last thing I want you to watch out for is you don't want any excessive tugging, especially on those incisions. So just be aware of that. If you are feeling a ton of tugging or pulling and you're just feeling really uncomfortable, please don't push through that. Let's go over these movements right now, and I hope you enjoy. For the first exercise here, you're gonna want a bench or a stool or a table. And you're also gonna want a water bottle. Make sure this water bottle is filled up to the top with water. And then we're gonna set up in a hinge position. So just hinge over top of my bench or my chair or my stool. My bum is back, my back is nice and flat. Okay, I'm not like rounding my back like this. And then all I'm gonna do is allow my arm to just hang out here. I'm just nice and relaxed. My water bottle is not very heavy, but it does have a little bit of weight to it. And just very slowly, I'm gonna allow my arm to just kind of dangle and do some gentle shoulder circles. Okay, so this is called our pendulum here. I'm really not working very hard. I'm really just kind of allowing my arm to kind of dangle and hang out here and do small little circles. I'm gonna do about 10 reps per direction, and then I'm gonna switch directions and do nice small circles the other direction. Again, I'm nice and relaxed here. I'm not forcefully doing these big circles. Okay, it's just small little circles. My arm's nice and relaxed, and my back is nice and flat. Okay, I'm not kind of like rounding here. I'm not arching my back. And I'm just nice and relaxed. Okay, you're gonna perform 10 each direction, and you can do 2 rounds of that, and make sure you do both sides. The next exercise we're going to do is just to really get some movement through the neck, because I can imagine at this point we're feeling pretty stiff. So very slowly we're going to drop the chin down towards the sternum, and we're going to roll our ear over to one shoulder. Should feel a nice stretch through the opposite side of the neck here, making sure we're breathing through this. And then very slowly we're going to roll that neck all the way to the other shoulder, nice and slow. Good, breathing through that, holding that for a second or two, and then slowly rolling that neck to the other side, nice and slow. You're gonna do this about 10 repetitions per side. Okay, so 20 rolls total. And once you've done that, we're then going to tuck the chin down towards the sternum. Okay, think about moving one little segment of the spine at a time. So your spine has little vertebrae or like segments of the spine. And again, I want you to think about moving one little vertebrae at a time. So we drop that chin down, hold for a second or two, and then slowly you're gonna look up at the ceiling. Keep the mouth closed. And slowly drop that chin back down. So all the way up. and then all the way down. And you're also going to do this for about 10 reps. You can do 2 rounds, just like all the other exercises we're going to do. The next movement is our wonderful shoulder squeeze. So for this one, I want you having a 90-degree bend at the elbows, and keep the elbows like tucked into the sides here. And we're going to focus on our shoulder blades at the back. So kind of roll the shoulders down and back. Once you've done that, we're then going to squeeze the shoulder blades. Okay, you don't have to go at 100%, but we want to feel some activation back here. We're going to hold that for about 5 seconds. And as we do this, we're not shrugging our shoulders up here. We're thinking about drawing our shoulders away from the earlobes. You're going to hold that for about, 5-10 seconds even, and then just slowly kind of release forward here. And then repeat, back and squeeze, hold for 5 to 10 seconds, and then just slowly you can release. Okay, again, so the biggest thing that I want you to pay attention for is not shrugging the shoulders up like this. Okay, we're trying to take away tension from our upper traps, and we're trying to, strengthen some muscles back there. The next one, you're just going to stand with your arms at your sides. We're going to work one side of the body at a time. If you're very new to this movement, I would definitely start with more of a bent arm, but over time, I want you trying to extend the arm. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to lift the arm. We're not going very high because obviously we can't go above shoulder height. You're going to lift it to wherever feels comfortable, and then you're slowly going to come down. So slowly we come up, nice and slow, and then we come back down. We're never going above shoulder height. So again, you can kind of start with more of a bent arm if that feels a lot more comfortable. It probably will in the beginning, but then over time, I challenge you to try with more of a straighter arm and just see how that feels, okay? After you've done it out to the side, we're then going to come out to the front here. Okay, you can do both sides at the same time. It's really up to you. And again, we're never going above shoulder height. So just make sure you don't do that. So all the way up. Again, with more bent arms, it's going to look like this, but this is just training some more shoulder movement in all kind of the directions. So we're going to do about 5 to 10 out to the side. Okay, again, you can do both at the same time, but I personally like to do one side so I can really just kind of focus on all of the things. You want to make sure that you kind of roll that shoulder down and back. We're thinking good posture, and then we come up and then down. And then same with the front. We want to make sure that we're not kind of like this. We're trying our best to kind of stand as tall as we can, kind of roll the shoulders down and back, and then lift up and then come down. Okay, so again, 5 to 10 reps this direction, 5 to 10 reps this direction, and then the last one, we're going to come out to the back here and work on shoulder extension. So here, you're just going to have the palms facing forward, and then roll the shoulders down and back. I'm not shrugging up like this and keeping the shoulders down. I'm just going to reach behind me. Hold 1, 2, 3, and slowly come back. Okay, again, moving through a range of motion that feels suitable for me. But what I don't want you to do with this one is especially shrug up like this and roll forward. So it's going to be probably a small range of motion at first for you for all of these movements, and that's okay. As long as you're consistent with this should improve quite a bit over time. So also for that one, I want you to do 5-10 reps, and you can do 2 rounds of that. And then we're going to move into our shoulder blade circles. So scapular circles is also another name for it. We're just going to stand tall for this, and then we're going to bring the shoulders up to the ears, so we're elevating those shoulder blades. We're going to pull them back and together. You don't need to go very hard, remember, because again, you're very early post-op, so the goal isn't to go as far back as you can. It's just to get a bit of movement here. So pull them back and together. We come down, and then we come forward here. So we're just getting some nice gentle circles. You can keep your elbows bent if that feels better, or you can have them straight at your sides. It doesn't really matter. But again, always staying within a pain-free range of motion. In the beginning, there are a few movements here will probably feel pretty challenging and maybe a bit pulley. So just don't overdo it. We're gonna aim for about 5 big circles one direction, and then we can switch directions and do 5 big circles the other direction. Okay, and you're gonna do 2 rounds of this, just like all of the other exercises. Last exercise we're gonna do is the wonderful shoulder external rotation drill. So palms are facing the ceiling, glue the elbows at your sides and roll the shoulders down and back. So again, we're not shrugging the shoulders up like this. It's really important we keep the shoulders down and away from the ears. Glue the elbows at our sides, and while keeping the elbows glued at our sides, we're just gonna come out as far as we can with our forearms. You should feel some activation through the back here a little bit, back of the shoulders, and then come back. And then repeat. We open up here, hold 1, 2, 3, and slowly bring those hands back. Open up here, holding, and come back. We'll do 2 rounds of this for 10 repetitions. Don't let the elbows come off of the sides. It's important we keep them at our sides here so that we're really training true shoulder external rotation in this position. I really hope this video offered a little bit more clarity. So hopefully now you know that you can do movement post-op surgery, especially in the early phases. And as long as you're, listening to your body and not lifting your arms above your head, movement is not the enemy. But if you're pushing through pain, that's when things can kind of go sideways, which we don't want, okay? If you learned anything from this video today, I would super appreciate if you could like and subscribe to this channel so I can keep making educational content like this video. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I very much appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful day.